The housemaid laughing at her madam been tortured. The morning sun spilled through the tall glass windows of the Lecky mansion like liquid gold. Inside, the marble floors gleamed, scented candles burned on side tables, and soft Afrobeats played from invisible speakers. The house looked perfect, but peace was a stranger here. Amara Damalola sat before her vanity mirror, brushing her long black hair. Her reflection smiled back at her, flawless and proud. She took a selfie, adjusted the light, and whispered to herself, "Soft life, baby. You deserve everything fine." Her phone screen filled with likes and heart emojis. Outside, her husband, Chief Damalola, was already dressed for work, calm, elegant, in his usual native Agbada. He watched her quietly, his expression unreadable. "Amara, good morning." "Morning," she replied, eyes still fixed on her phone. He sighed softly. "You didn't sleep early again, did you?" "Instagram doesn't sleep, darling," she said, snapping another photo. Their breakfast sat untouched. It wasn't that Amara was evil, she was empty in all the wrong places. Her beauty had become her weapon, and her comfort had become her cage. When she first met Chief Damalola, she'd been an ambitious event planner, loud and lively, climbing fast. But after marriage her work stopped. Her ambition shifted from doing to having. Now she was the queen of idle luxury. Maids came and went. Some lasted a week, others barely 3 days. Amara's sharp tongue was legendary in the compound. "Do I pay you to gossip?" she'd snap. "Wipe that table again, can't you see the dust? Or are you blind?" The neighbors whispered. "She's beautiful, but no peace in that house," they said. Chief Damalola, patient as he was, began to shrink inside himself. One night he tried to talk to her again. "Amara, you have everything. Why do you sound so angry all the time?" "Because people keep annoying me," she said flatly. "Even me?" "Especially you when you start this your motivational talk." He fell silent. He'd learned that silence was safer. But silence in that mansion would soon become a living thing. The mansion stood in one of the wealthiest parts of Lagos, an estate so quiet that even the streetlights seemed proud. At first glance, Amara's life looked enviable. Designer handbags, lunch dates at Banana Island cafes, and photo shoots in her walk-in closet. But inside there were cracks beneath the gold. Her marriage was a routine of distance. Chief Damalola buried himself in work. Amara filled her loneliness with phone screens and online validation. Then came the maid problem. In 6 months, 5 maids had resigned. One left crying in the rain. Another fainted during Amara's tirade about stupid house girls who don't understand luxury. When Damalola suggested she treat them better, she rolled her eyes. "You men don't understand. These girls don't have sense. They're lucky to even step inside this kind of house." He replied quietly, "Sometimes power tests the soul. Don't fail, Amara." She ignored him. That night, she dreamt of a woman's voice whispering, "Every tear finds its way home." She woke sweating, the AC humming softly. She laughed it off, until the next morning when her favorite chandelier flickered for no reason. By the 3rd week of April, Amara needed another maid. She called her agency furious. "The last one left without notice. Find me someone who can stay." 2 days later the agency sent Ngozi. She arrived quietly one humid afternoon, small, calm, dark-skinned, with eyes too deep for her young face. Her voice was soft, almost musical. "Good afternoon, Ma," she greeted. "You're the new one." "Yes, Ma. You better last. I don't have time for lazy people." "I understand, Ma." Her calmness irritated Amara. There was something unsettling about how still she was. That evening the dogs barked uncontrollably when Ngozi passed. Even the gateman muttered, "Madam, that girl get one kind spirit, oh." Amara waved him off. "You people and your nonsense village talk." But as days went by, Ngozi's presence began to feel strange. She worked flawlessly, no mistakes, no noise, no complaints. But Amara sometimes found her awake at 3 a.m., cleaning the marble staircase in silence. When asked why, Ngozi smiled faintly. "I like the way light reflects on clean things, Ma." Her smile didn't reach her eyes. Chief Damalola noticed how spotless the house had become. "This one keep her," he said. Amara scoffed. "You sound like you want to marry her." He laughed uneasily. "I'm just saying she's efficient." That night, Amara dreamt again. She saw Ngozi standing over her bed, whispering in that same soft voice, "Every tear finds its way home." She woke up screaming. Ngozi was gone. But a single wet footprint glistened by her bedside. Over the next few weeks, Amara's unease grew. She started hearing things, faint humming, doors creaking open on their own, the chandelier swaying though no breeze blew. One afternoon she called Ngozi. "Ngozi, did you hear anything strange last night?" "No, Ma," she replied gently, eyes steady. "Are you sure?" "Yes, Ma. Maybe it's the wind." But Amara could swear she heard footsteps in the hallway at midnight. She began watching Ngozi more closely. Sometimes she found her whispering softly while cleaning. Once she saw her standing in front of the mirror, staring, not at her reflection but through it. "Ngozi, what are you looking at?" "Just dust, Ma." "There's no dust." "Some dust is invisible," Ngozi said and walked away. That sentence haunted Amara all day. She tried to tell Chief Damalola, but he brushed it off. "Maybe you need rest, Amara. You've been stressed lately." She snapped. "I'm not crazy, Damalola. There's something off about that girl." He frowned. "Please stop driving her away like the others." Later that night, Amara sat alone by the pool, scrolling through her phone to distract herself. Her reflection shimmered in the dark water. Behind it, a shadow. She turned. No one was there. But from somewhere deep inside the house, faint and cold, she heard the humming again. It wasn't Ngozi's voice this time. It was many voices blending into one, whispering, weeping, calling her name. "Ama, Are." Her phone slipped from her hand into the pool. And from the reflection in the water, something smiled back at her. The mansion was unusually still that evening. Rain hissed against the glass walls, thunder rolled somewhere beyond Ikoyi Bridge, and power blinked on and off. Chief Damalola had traveled for a 3-day conference in Abuja, leaving the whole house to Amara and Ngozi. Amara sat on the couch scrolling through her phone. The generator kicked in, lights flickered, then steadied. She poured herself a glass of wine. From the hallway came that low humming again. She froze. It was closer now, not distant but right behind the wall. "Ngozi," she shouted. "Yes, Ma?" Ngozi appeared from the darkness as if she'd been waiting there. Her eyes glowed faintly under the chandelier light. "Why are you humming that song?" Amara asked. "Which song, Ma?" "Don't play games with me." Ngozi tilted her head, expression calm. "Maybe you're hearing what's already inside the house." Then she smiled and walked away. Amara's hands trembled. She switched off the TV, locked all doors and went upstairs. But sleep didn't come. At midnight, she woke to the sound of dripping water. She followed it to the bathroom. Tap closed, yet water pooled on the floor. She looked up. From the ceiling hung a shape, faint, pale, almost human. It vanished as she screamed. Downstairs the lights went out completely. In the dark, the humming rose again, louder, joined by whispers. "Every tear finds its way home." And beneath that chorus, one voice, Ngozi's, said softly, "Madam, you should rest now." Then silence. Morning light brought no comfort. The maid's room door stood open, the bed perfectly made, but Ngozi was gone. Amara searched the compound. Nothing. The gateman swore no one had come or gone. She tried to call her husband, but the line crackled and died. By evening, shadows stretched across the living room like stains. The smell of candle wax filled the air even though no candle burned. Amara turned on all the lights. They flickered once and stayed dim. Then the portraits on the wall, her wedding photo, her birthday pictures, began to blur. In every frame, the maids' faces appeared behind her, faint, weeping. She stumbled backward, clutching her phone. It rang suddenly. Unknown number. Hello? Madame Amara, a voice whispered. You promised you'd pay me last month. You said. Static swallowed the words. The call ended. She stared at the screen. Ngozi. Her chest tightened. She dialed the agency's number. The woman who answered sounded confused. Madam Ngozi? We never sent anybody with that name to you. Our records stop at the last maid you dismissed in February, the one that died in that bus accident. Amara's breath caught. What accident? The one you refused to pay salary for, remember? She was on her way home. May her soul rest. The phone slipped from her hand. Outside, thunder roared again. When she turned, Ngozi stood at the top of the staircase, soaked, barefoot, eyes empty. You finally remember me, madam? The lights exploded. She woke on the marble floor, the house drenched in darkness. Lightning flashed. The mansion now looked ancient, walls cracked, curtains torn. From every corner, shadows gathered, the faces of her former maids, pale and silent. Ngozi walked among them, her skin shimmering like ash. You built comfort on our pain, she said quietly. You mocked hunger and now you'll taste it. Amara crawled backward. Please? I didn't kill you. No. You just didn't care. Ngozi raised a hand. The chandelier burst into cold flame. The ghosts circled Amara, whispering the song. Every tear finds its way home. The flames moved like moths, wings of light touching her skin. She screamed, blinded by brightness. Then silence. Morning. Chief Damilola returned, rain-soaked and worried. The gateman said no one had come out all weekend. Inside the mansion was spotless. Too spotless. He found Amara sitting before the mirror, eyes distant, hair streaked white. She turned slowly. You're home, she whispered. Amara, what happened here? She smiled faintly. I cleaned, finally. On the mirror's surface, faint outlines of women's faces shimmered, then faded. That night, she begged Damilola to hire no more maids. She cooked for the first time in years. She swept the house herself. Sometimes she still hears humming in the walls, but she pretends not to. When neighbors ask what changed her, she only says, comfort has a price. I've paid mine. And when moths gather near the light at night, she whispers, rest now, Ngozi. Rest. Moral. Beauty fades, pride devours. The soul that refuses to work feeds on itself. And in every tear we cause, something remembers.